Good morning, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday morning, October 30th, and we're looking at the last 2 days of the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And yesterday, obviously a case of buy the rumor, sell the news in both the triple Qs and the SPY. All the earnings are out. Initially, they seemed to pop, flushed out, and now here we are in both the triple Qs right above yesterday's opening and the SPY right above yesterday's opening with 70 minutes to go prior to the opening. So we're right back where we started yesterday. So the earnings are out. Those are done. They're built into what we're looking at right now. I will not concentrate on them anymore. So what we have to look for now is what happens with this 2-day balance. Yesterday's range was the entire range of our 2-day balance as we took out both Wednesday's low and high. Now, ES had filled all their single prints. We had very small left right now. It certainly looks like those are gone. Looks like our afternoon pullback low and H is gone. So let's go over destinations and a game plan for this morning. So right now on the upside, again, we have over an hour. So if we don't cap lower, if we do not gap lower, our first destination, believe it or not, this is where these things are going to be wide and far apart, and we're going to get some movement. Because our first destination right now on the upside is 331.11, which is my overnight high. Now, before that, obviously we have M period. Now, we were 8 wide. I'm sorry, we're only 7 wide. I'm not counting N period. M period, if we ever get back up there, that low is 329.93. See if we get any acceptance into it. Technically, we had a double distribution day in SPY yesterday because we still had those little single prints left. Another second or two before 4 o'clock and they would have been filled. But that's a very visual area right there where the last set of single prints were. Remember where change took place when H took out C and D's high? Well, that change didn't last long. It lasted for a little bit over 2 hours only. So M's low will be tremendously important because that's really where change took place yesterday, if they're ever to even get close to that range today. And then we have yesterday's high of 333.39 and the huge daunting gap of 337.99, 460-point gap. For the downside, well, right now the singles are gone. Looks like the afternoon pullback of 328.57 is gone. So right now all we have is yesterday's low of 325.09. Then below that, we don't have anything to the overnight low of 323.28, almost $2 lower. Then it gets even scarier, folks. We have a daily low of 321.64, and in those three huge levels, 319.80 monthly low, 319.64 weekly low, 319.25 weekly low, and 319.09 daily low, poor low. So within 71 cents, we have 4 lows, 1 monthly, 2 weekly. That is a target that at some point, and I'm not saying today, but at some point is going to be very, very inviting for the bears. So pre-market volume is 1.1 million, so still it's 3 days in a row where it's pretty good. The destinations and reference points are so far and wide apart on both sides that I expect tremendous chop and volatility. Now, if we come out of a 2-day balance to the downside, just like yesterday, there's nothing below us. They did it yesterday, and they stopped on a dime, right? We looked below a previous day's low, came back, and the ultimate destination is the other end of the previous day's range. Right? The hair on your neck has to stand up. Well, we did that. So now, if we take out yesterday's low, is it going to be a repeat where they don't get much, or considering there's not much below us, do we get the acceleration and start pushing lower? Same on the upside. If we hold yesterday's low, or we take it out and come back in and get above the opening again, there's nothing to the upside. So do not get biased. Do not trade what's in front of you because you're going to get some movement, I believe, today. Especially, it's the last day of the month. And We know November, starting a new month and the day before the election. So game plan for this morning, again, can you take a long against yesterday's low? Sure you can. But remember, you're going to be barely in balance and below value. So my out is absolutely if we take out yesterday's low. I don't want to be a buy if we get below it. If you don't get below it and you hold it, and then wherever we open today, we get back above the opening, again, you could see some pretty good movement to the upside because there's nothing there. Remember, if it's short-term plays, and I truly believe this has been short-term plays for the most part, they need to seek the next level and destination that I'm giving you. And they find them. They grind to them, they rip to them, but they find them. So because they're so far and wide apart, it's going to be the same thing today. So that's a call play. On the flip side, if in the next hour we gap lower, or after the opening we take out yesterday's low, I'll be looking to take a put play because, again, there's nothing to the downside. My out is if we come back into yesterday's range. So those are two really, really early plays this morning. And then on the charts, last day of the month. So we're down $3 right now. We'd have to go down another $7 to take out last month's low. Can it happen? Of course it can. If it doesn't, though, we will have an inside month, which would be a very nice setup for November. Now remember, it would be an inside month. So you don't know if that's going to, once you come out of it, it takes a full month to know. Just like here, in April, we had an inside month, came out of it in May, and look what we did. May, June, July, August, straight up, even September made a new high before we took out the previous month's low to stop. So they're very powerful. Here's another one. Came out of an inside month. We went up 3 times. But it is a monthly. It takes more time to see if it will work. Does it mean if we close at the bottom of this month that we're definitely coming out of it to the downside? No. Are the odds better? Yeah. But it doesn't mean you have to come out of it to the downside. Weekly, again, one time framing down 2 weeks. Your next destination is 319.80, which is last month's low. The question is, are we going to see it today? Will we attempt to see it next week? If we see it next week, then that means you will be coming out of an inside month to the downside because that means you'd be taking out this month's low. And then on the daily, we went to balance yesterday. Do we come out of balance to the downside? And again, there's your next destination, 319.80. Do we come out of it to the upside and attempt to fill some of the previous day's gap? Good luck trading today. Have a great day, and we will recap the day and the week at 4 p.m.